In a remote village, nestled among misty mountains, lived an old farmer. He was a man of few words, known throughout the land for his unshakable calm. His life was simple, revolving around his small farm and his only son. His most prized possession was a strong, beautiful horse, his companion in the fields and his only means of transport. One morning, the farmer woke to find the stable empty. The horse had broken free and run away. His neighbors rushed over, their faces etched with pity. "What a disaster!" they cried. "Your only horse is gone. How will you work the fields? This is terrible luck." The old farmer simply looked towards the hills where his horse had vanished, and replied softly, "Maybe." A week later, the villagers were startled by the sound of thundering hooves. The farmer's horse had returned, and it wasn't alone. It was leading a herd of 7 magnificent, wild horses. The neighbors gathered again, this time their faces beaming with excitement. "What incredible fortune!" they exclaimed. "You lost 1 horse, but gained 7 more. You are the luckiest man in the village." The farmer watched the new horses in his corral, a quiet stillness in his eyes. He simply said, "Maybe." His son, eager to prove his worth, set about the difficult task of taming the wild newcomers. One day, while trying to break a particularly spirited stallion, he was thrown violently to the ground. There was a sickening crack. His leg was broken, a severe and painful injury. The neighbors came once more, shaking their heads in sorrow. "First fortune, now tragedy," they whispered. "Your son, your only help, is injured. This is truly bad luck." The farmer sat by his son's bedside, his expression unchanging. "Maybe," he said. Not long after, the drums of war echoed through the valley. Imperial officers marched into the village, their banners flapping in the wind. They had come with conscription orders. Every able-bodied young man was to be drafted into the army, to fight a brutal, distant war. The village was filled with the sound of weeping as mothers and fathers said goodbye to their sons, knowing they might never see them again. When the officers arrived at the old farmer's house, they saw his son lying in bed, his leg bound in splints. They passed him by, leaving him behind. As the last of the soldiers disappeared over the horizon, the neighbors gathered one final time at the farmer's home. They looked at his son, safe, and then at their own empty houses. Through their tears, they finally understood. "Your son was spared because of his broken leg," one of them said in awe. "What we saw as a terrible misfortune was actually the greatest blessing. Your luck is unbelievable." The old farmer looked out at his fields, then at his son, safe and healing. A gentle smile touched his lips for the first time. "Maybe." This story teaches us a profound lesson. Life is a constant flow of events, and we are often too quick to label them as good or bad. A seeming disaster might hold the seed of a future blessing, and a moment of great fortune could lead to an unforeseen hardship. We don't have the whole picture. The only thing we truly control is not what happens to us, but how we respond. By embracing this uncertainty, we can find a deep and lasting peace. So the next time life throws something unexpected your way, before you celebrate or despair, take a breath, and remember the wisdom of the old farmer. Maybe. Thanks for watching. If this story resonated with you, consider subscribing for more content that makes you think. See you in the next one.